Inland Sports.
Now joining us here on the Inland Sports Show, he is a CIF champion. It is the head coach of your Murrieta Mesa Rams, Oscar McBride. And Coach, man, how does it feel? I mean, you won the league title in the Big West, and then you get to CIF, and Division VI is tough. A lot of good teams out there. But we can see with the picture behind you, man, you guys rose held that trophy high, that plaque on Saturday night. How does it feel to be a CIF champion?
It's outstanding. We've been working really hard. In truth, we're probably a couple years ahead of schedule. The kids have bought in, the coaches have bought in, and it's just really good to see the hard work pay off. As a head coach, you always want to see your guys have success, and it was really sweet to see them go out and perform as well as they did. So I'm stoked.
Coach, you guys play a really tough non-league schedule. So before you even got to Big West play, did you learn some things about your team going up against some really good competition those first 5 games?
Man, let me tell you, we caught the injury bug, man. We were the COVID of injuries. We had my starting right tackle was a senior, torn labrum. One of my starting inside linebackers, torn labrum. We had guys out with ankles, with knees. I lost Julian Williams the first game of league with a lacerated kidney. One of my captains, he got injured on the very first play of the game against TV and played the whole game. And as everybody knows, he's the guy that recovered the fumble that allowed us to beat them. And then got home a couple hours later and collapsed in the parking lot and was rushed to the hospital. So what I found out through league and through the injuries and having to play those younger guys who maybe weren't quite ready, anytime you go to play against Jeff Steinberg and Beaumont and you're playing backup JV guys, you're starting backup JV guys on Friday, it's really tough. But those guys are tough. They're resilient. And they love each other. And I think all that adversity, all those challenges really galvanized us. And winning the TV game the way we won it was kind of like the reality check that we needed to kind of start the ball rolling in terms of league play. So resilient group, young group. We start, I think, 6 or 7 seniors. Everybody else is a junior and a sophomore. So really resilient, tough young men. That's what I learned.
Coach, call me old-fashioned, but if you can run the football and play defense, you're going to win a lot of football games. I know Celestine's a great running back. You held Glendora to just 7 points in that championship game. Mm-hmm. Do you kind of, subscribe to that same feeling? Hey, if you can run the football, not turn it over, and play great defense, you're going to win some games.
Well, let me tell you, I'm a Lou Holtz disciple. Although I played tight end, he was never a guy who threw the football. He always said 3 things happen when you throw the football, and 2 of them are bad. From that perspective, our offensive line has done a great job. Archon Celestine has been great. Royal Randolph, who's running back 1A, who had a great breakout freshman year, was our newcomer of the year on offense last year. He was out for 6 games with a broken finger. So we Archon carried the bulk of the load. And the defense, what can I say about them? In my opinion, we've got one of the best defensive lines in the Valley. Obviously now in the state. Our defensive line coaches are outstanding. Coach Pontius, that I work with in my brief stint at Notre Dame, has done a phenomenal job as my coordinator, and he's like family. So everything kind of came together, as they do when you're kind of on the roll. And here we are, in the regional playoff game, state playoff game, riding a 9-0, a 9-game winning streak. So it's pretty sweet to see those things come together. Guys have been playing lights out. And they're so young, we're getting a lot of them back next year. So it's exciting.
Yeah, it's really exciting. Yeah. Coach, it sounds like, a lot of head coaches out there, they're worried about, grade checks and keeping an eye on players' grades. It sounds like you were like waiting for doctor's reports. Like, are you healthy? Is it broken? Can you play? Are you out? What's going on?
We are a little bit different here. We know that, CIF is It's a 2.0 for kids to be able to be eligible. For us here, it's 2.5. Right now, we're running about a 3.1 GPA for our team overall. So not really the thing that we're worried about. It's truly their health. Like, God, do you have a concussion? Going through concussion protocol. How's your finger? How's your shoulder? Is your hamstring okay? Cody Morin played limited minutes against St. Francis. He didn't play the whole first half. He was nursing a strained hamstring. First play we put him inside. He gets a hatchet, forced fumble that's, Daniel Ritchie scooped and scored that put us ahead in that game. So at this point in the season, it's about keeping everybody healthy. It's a game of attrition. So we're in a good spot. I think for me and my staff and the kids, it's, the hate that you get, you're, been the little brother of Murrieta and, oh, you guys won JV D6. My thing is, look, we want to see our championship. We're in the state playoffs. We're the first school in Murrieta Valley Unified to go to a state playoff. These kids won league outright for the first time in school history. They want to see our championship for the first time in school history. It's unfortunate that the hate is real, but we're just going to keep playing.
Hey, you just play who's in front of you, right?
No doubt. We don't control that. We go out, we play. CIF does the seeding. Great. We're in 6. We're in 6 last year. We felt like we should have won it last year. And we were going to do our best to make sure that we made good on it this year. And the boys did. So super proud of them for that.
All right, Coach, let's talk about that Southern California regional game now. If you win that one, you would go to the state championship against the winner from the North. Full disclosure, I used to live like probably a mile and a half from Frontier High School. I was the sports anchor for the ABC station in Bakersfield for 8 years. So I covered Frontier, and they had some good teams. So without giving away all your secrets, what do you know about this Frontier team? What's the kind of the game plan going in?
You know what? Frontier is a great football team. I mean, obviously they're playing in the regional playoff, state playoff game. They've got a big offensive line. They're physical. They run the ball well. They throw the ball well. They play great defense. They play well on special teams. They're just a great football team. So for us to go up to Bakersfield in their environment at their home, it's going to take us playing a great football game. They're a really good football team.
Coach, I've heard from other coaches that, for the longest time, at least in the CIF Southern section, that, winning CIF, winning the section was like the goal at the end of the year. And it was hard to kind of regroup and like get the guys focused again. And hey, listen, we got more football. Like we need to go chase a state championship. But I've heard from other coaches saying it was kind of hard. Like, you win CIF, and that for many years, that was it. That was the ultimate prize. But it's like now you've got to get these guys focused again. The celebrating is over. You got more football. What's been practice like so far this week? Just trying to get these guys focused again.
We're a little bit different in our approach and our philosophy. We break our season down into little mini seasons, so, you have your off season, then we have 7-on-7 season, we have spring season, we have summer season, fall camp season, preseason, league season, playoff season, and now we're in state season. So what we do is we just focus on one game a week. We have a mantra, another 48, we're playing for another 48 minutes. And the kids have been really good about that. And every time we win, it's like, hey, congratulations, fellas, you earned another 48. And we're playing for another 48. So from our perspective, we're playing for the last 48 now, right? The last possible 48. And from my perspective, Pep, and from our team's perspective, these seniors were 0-10 as freshmen. 0-10. They scored 3 touchdowns as freshmen. They're now a 10-win team and a CIF champion. They want more. They want it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As I said earlier, the hate is real, man. So, okay, you guys are in a cupcake league. We win league. Oh, you guys won a JV CIF championship. We won a CIF championship. So from my perspective, in order to silence the critics, the best thing for us to do is just to be the best in the state. And that's the mindset the kids have. We've had 2 really good days of practice. I literally just got done uploading film. We're excited for the opportunity, and any chance to play football is a great chance. So we want to get out there and show everybody what we're made of. So that's kind of our motivation, if you will. So it hasn't been hard at all.
All right, finally, Coach. You mentioned Lou Holtz a little bit earlier. Go Fighting Irish. Has your phone been blowing up since winning CIF? Like, who has reached out to you just to say congratulations? Good job, go
Gosh.
win it all.
Bryant Young, Jeff Burris, Aaron Taylor, Lake Dawson, Jeff Burris, all my teammates, Clint Johnson, Brian Hamilton, all these guys, a couple of Hall of Famers, College Hall of Famer, NFL Hall of Famer, Bertrand Berry, Corey Minor, who just got the job at Bishop
Oh
Almonte,
yeah.
did a phenomenal job there. It's, Coach Holtz, a couple of guys I served with on his foundation, Holtz's Heroes. It's a family. You always want to see your brothers do well. So really cool for me to see the posts and social media and get the text messages to kind of keep me going. That's awesome.
Coach, one quick follow-up question. I don't know if we've talked
Sure.
before, and I don't know if I've asked you this, but like even when you were playing, did you always know in the back of your mind, like, hey, I want to be a head coach somewhere, even if it's at the high school level because maybe high school coaches really have a close connection with their guys. But
Yeah.
did you ever think, hey, I want to be, or were you like, man, when I'm done playing, I'm going to, I don't know, go into real estate or something?
Well, actually, I did.
Did you?
I spent about 15 years as an investment banker, as a wholesale banker, working with the street. And when the market crashed in 2007, I ended up at J. Sarah working under Jim Hardigan. I actually applied for the freshman head coaching job, and I came in. He's like, "Well, I already hired somebody for the freshman job. You think you can coach offensive line on varsity?" I'm thinking, I played for Coach Moore at Notre Dame. Yeah, I can coach the offensive line. So cut my teeth at J. Sarah in Trinity League at the very beginning when J. Sarah was just starting out in 2008, and learned a lot. Learned a lot of do's and don'ts, and kind of worked on my craft and skill. It kind of came back everything I was taught by Coach Moore and Coach Holtz, and Skip Holtz has done a great job in the USFL. Was my tight ends receivers coach, and just built on that. So it was kind of like out of necessity. I needed something to do, and it kind of made sense. And I was like, well, wait a minute. If football isn't market driven, sports doesn't depend on the market being solid. People are always going to want to, either play sports or go to a game. So I came in and I fell in love with it, man, and I haven't looked back since. So that's kind of my story, from coaching youth football to coaching high school in 2008, and kind of been at it ever since.
No, I love that because some
2007.
some coaches are like, oh yeah, well, I knew in the back of my mind, even when I was in high school, that I was gonna be coaching one day, and I wanted to go back to my alma mater. No. I love the other stories too, though. Like you, man, you were probably making good money doing real estate, and you're like, well,
Great
what am I
money,
gonna do?
man. I took a 90% pay cut to come to Jason. It was awful, Pep. It was awful. It was awful. But like I said, I learned a lot. And what I learned, probably the most important thing I learned from that experience is that relationships are so very important, and that's one of those things that is different about our program. A lot of programs talk about wins and losses, and, Mesa has traditionally been a winning program. We built our program on the same three tenets that Coach Holtz built Notre Dame on, which is trust, love, and commitment. We can't build a program on wins and losses. Wins and losses come and go, but your trust, your love, and your commitment to the process and to your teammates, to your coaches, to your team family, that lasts forever. Coach Holtz would always say, you can be successful or you can be significant. Success is finite. If you're a person of significance, if you can ask yourself the question, if I wasn't there, would I be missed? And those are the things that we're teaching our players. And they're going out and they're playing for each other. They're not playing for me. They're not playing for Murrieta Mesa. They're playing for each other. And that's kind of how we go about our business, man. So it's worked for us. We're not going to change it. We'll just keep grinding away, and chips will fall where they may, man.
Well, I'm sure your bank account misses the old days, but a CIF championship,
Boy.
priceless, right?
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. That's some significance, man. I missed the success, though, Pep. I ain't gonna lie, man. The financial success was great, but this is something that lasts forever. It's been great. I've coached a lot of places. From J. Sarah to Servite to Olu to Capo Valley to Soro. a lot of my players from all those places have reached out. Obviously, they're now, dads and husbands, and it's just really cool to get text messages from Shane Coleman from Tesoro, who went and played at San Diego State. Michael Mackesy, who was a stud at Tesoro, reached out. It's just really cool to have players who still follow and still reach out. That just kind of lets me know there's a little bit of success in there, but there's also some significance, and that means a lot to me. So I'm good with it.
And that last, I mean, obviously, if they're still reaching out to you after all these years,
yeah, for sure.
That's impactful.
It's awesome, man. Like I always tell my teams, one day when you're a dad, when you're a husband, you'll look back, you'll tell your son, hey, I had this one coach. His name was Coach Mack. He was wild, and he told me some things that I'm going to share with you. That is kind of how I think, it's not about, I don't remember the scores of games. I might remember that we won. I don't remember the score, but I remember what it was like with my teammates. I remember the locker room. I remember what crazy stuff we did in practice or what coaches said, like I remember that stuff, you know what I mean? So we try to be coaches of significance, not necessarily just for success. So that's our mantra, man, and we're sticking to it.
That is awesome. Well, that is Oscar McBride, the head coach of the Murrieta Mesa Rams, your CIF Southern Section Division 6 champion, now going to the SoCal Championship game on the road at Frontier in Bakersfield. Coach, listen, I really appreciate the time. I love our conversations. Yes. Go get them on Friday night. Beat the Titans and punch your ticket to the finals.
Awesome. Thanks, Pep. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on, man.
You got it. That's Coach McBride here on the Inland Sports Show. Inland Sports.